Caitlin Clark is in the vicinity at a private event with Michael Jordan. Now, it's hard to believe that they're not talking basketball. We know it has to do with basketball a little bit.
Secret footage just dropped that has the WNBA absolutely losing their minds. Caitlin Clark got caught training with Michael Jordan himself at his private golf club, and the league is scrambling to control the damage. This wasn't some casual meet and greet either. We're talking about real basketball training sessions between the GOAT and the player everyone's calling the female MJ.
Now, we know if it's one person Caitlin Clark has been compared to her whole WNBA career, it's Michael Jeffrey Jordan. There's so many celebrities between the two, the injury, the height, the just everything, the assault that was taking place on the basketball court. It's eerie similar.
The footage came from Grove 23, Jordan's ultra-exclusive golf compound in Florida. Only billionaires and elite athletes get invited to this place, and somehow Clark made the cut. The leaked video shows her holding a basketball, deep in conversation with Jordan, and even demonstrating her signature step-back jumper. Jordan stood there with his arms crossed, giving that classic nod of approval that only true competitors recognize.
So this is the actual event that Caitlin Clark attended before we get into why she went viral. But stated Peak Inside Grove XX111, Michael Jordan's invite-only club. Says pace on selection are a large part of why Michael Jordan loves the golf game. And however, the legendary NBA star is one of the most recognizable people on the planet.
But here's where it gets interesting. The WNBA had no idea this meeting was happening. Zero. Clark went completely off their radar and straight into Jordan's inner circle without asking permission from anyone. The league spent months carefully crafting her image as their golden girl, but now she's making power moves that they can't control. Grove 23 isn't just any golf course. Jordan designed it as his personal kingdom, where privacy meets power. Tiger Woods and Derek Jeter have been spotted there, but every single guest needs personal approval from MJ himself.
So Michael Jordan's been had this golf course since 2019. The private golf course includes an 18-hole course, a main clubhouse, a gatehouse, a learning facility, and a practice range. There are even drones that deliver snacks and beverages to members during the play. The member list includes who's who in celebrities and professional athletes who all have received personal invitations from Jordan. The 15,000 square feet. Wow.
When Clark's name appeared on that guest list, people knew something massive was brewing. The internet exploded when the footage hit social media. Hashtags went viral within hours, and sports networks went into overdrive, trying to verify what they were seeing. TMZ confirmed the location matched Jordan's compound, and analysts paused the video frame by frame, identifying Jordan's signature sneakers and Clark's Nike gear. Not only that, but eyewitnesses say Clark wasn't just golfing around. She was holding court between rounds, talking shop about footwork and shot rhythm. The energy between them told a completely different story than just a casual celebrity encounter.
So this was a photo that Caitlin Clark was pictured in with the kid. Had herself a day, played Grove XX111, met the best female hooper in the game, Caitlin Clark. She was there with Michael Jordan, bro. Wow. So this was the photo right here that went viral last night.
This looked like mentorship, intense focus, and something much bigger brewing behind the scenes. The timing couldn't be worse for WNBA executives. They've been walking a tightrope trying to balance Clark's explosive popularity with team politics and veteran frustrations. Now Jordan steps into the picture, and that delicate balance is about to crumble completely. If this mentorship turns real, Clark's brand could skyrocket way beyond the league's reach. What makes this even crazier is that Jordan has never publicly connected himself to a female basketball player this way before.
I know a lot of people are gonna say Caitlin Clark should be training. She's with Michael Jordan. Like, it don't get no, like, I know a lot of people thought Caitlin Clark should have did Unrivaled. Caitlin Clark should have did basketball. She's with Michael Jordan. She's with the, like, there is no, like, there's no. I know everybody want Caitlin to be with Chris Brinkley, Drew Hanley, and all these other damn trainers. She's with Michael Jordan, bro. Like, it don't get no. Do I need say more? Do I need to say more? She's with MJ.
This isn't just symbolic, it's revolutionary. The greatest player of all time just gave his stamp of approval to the most controversial star in women's basketball, and the WNBA is powerless to stop what comes next. The WNBA headquarters in New York went into full crisis mode the second this footage leaked. League officials were completely blindsided, and for good reason. They had spent months positioning Clark as the face of women's basketball, but always under their control. Now that control was slipping away faster than they could react. Let's take a moment to rewind and understand why this meeting sent shockwaves through the entire organization. The WNBA has a reputation for micromanaging their stars, especially rookies. Every interview gets approved, every appearance gets scheduled, and every brand partnership goes through their offices first. Clark just threw that entire playbook out the window. Jordan isn't just any celebrity mentor either. This is a man who built his own empire, disrupted entire industries, and never asks permission from anyone. When he takes interest in someone, it's never for nothing. WNBA officials knew exactly what this could mean for their carefully constructed hierarchy. Emergency meetings started immediately. Executives called urgent conferences to assess what they were calling potential brand conflicts. Clark's Nike endorsement was one thing, but Jordan's personal involvement opened doors the league wasn't prepared to handle. They feared a power shift that could give Clark leverage they simply couldn't control. But the panic didn't stop there. Agents and sponsors started circling like sharks smelling blood in the water. If Jordan was personally mentoring Clark, major brands including Gatorade, Hanes, and the Jordan brand itself might expand into women's basketball without needing the WNBA's permission. Suddenly, Clark wasn't just another player on their roster. She was becoming an untouchable asset whose market value could surpass the very league that drafted her. The fan reaction made everything worse for league officials. Comment sections exploded with people calling Jordan the real commissioner. Critics openly mocked the WNBA for not appreciating Clark's influence sooner. Even retired players started hinting that the league's handling of Clark had been way too restrictive from day one. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, Indiana Fever teammates were reportedly stunned but not surprised. One anonymous player allegedly said Clark had always been bigger than the W, and now the world was just catching up. The writing was on the wall, but nobody wanted to admit it. What really terrified executives was the precedent this set. If their biggest star could make moves independently, what stopped other players from following suit? The entire structure of league control was being questioned, and they had no playbook for handling a player with this much outside influence. Here's the real kicker though. Multiple reports confirmed that Jordan personally reached out to Nike's executive board after the meeting. His message was simple and direct. She's the future. This wasn't just casual mentorship anymore. This was the GOAT personally vouching for Clark at the highest levels of sports business. The league tried spinning the story as positive exposure for women's basketball, but internally there was pure fear. Fear that their rookie sensation had outgrown their system faster than anyone thought possible. The real story happened away from all the cameras in a quiet corner of Grove 23's clubhouse. After their golf round, Jordan requested a private conversation with Clark that lasted nearly an hour. What was said in that room reportedly left Clark visibly emotional, but completely fired up for what came next. But here's what nobody expected. Jordan didn't treat Clark like some rookie who needed basic advice. He spoke to her like a peer, like someone who already understood what greatness demanded. The conversation focused on competition, leadership, and most importantly, legacy. Jordan knew exactly what Clark was going through because he had lived it himself. Jordan reportedly told Clark that greatness always comes with backlash. That public criticism is simply the price of being different. Those words hit hard for someone who had spent months under constant scrutiny from referees, opposing players, and media outlets dissecting her every move. But Jordan wasn't offering sympathy. He was offering perspective from someone who had survived the exact same treatment. The conversation got even more intense when Jordan started talking about icons who came before them. He reminded Clark that Kobe Bryant, Serena Williams, and every other legend had to go through fire before being celebrated. The difference was how they handled that pressure and used it as fuel instead of letting it burn them down. At one point during their talk, Jordan handed Clark a personalized Jordan brand basketball, not for show, not for photos, but as a symbol of what was possible. "Your era starts when you decide," he reportedly told her. Whether those exact words were spoken or just part of the growing legend around this meeting, they became a rallying cry for Clark's supporters online. What happened next changed everything. Clark left the clubhouse that day quieter than usual, escorted to her car by security, but people close to her noticed something fundamental had shifted. She looked focused in a way that was almost scary, almost like she had been given permission to play without apology for the first time in her career. The transformation wasn't just mental either. Within 24 hours, word started spreading about potential business deals that could tie Clark directly to the Jordan brand itself. If true, this would send shockwaves through the entire WNBA ecosystem and prove that their private conversation had real consequences. Not only that, but the timing of everything seemed too perfect to be coincidental. Jordan's interest in Clark coincided with her breaking multiple viewership records and carrying the entire WNBA season on her shoulders. Her jersey sales had already shattered previous records, and she single-handedly made the Indiana Fever one of the most talked about franchises, and all of sports industry experts started connecting the dots. This wasn't just mentorship, this was Jordan recognizing someone with the same competitive fire that made him legendary, the same obsession with winning that separated champions from everyone else. Clark had proven she could handle pressure, criticism, and expectations that would crush most players. Less than 24 hours after their private meeting, whispers started flooding social media about a potential collaboration between Clark and the Jordan brand. At first, it sounded impossible since Jordan had never partnered directly with an active WNBA player under his personal label, but then screenshots of supposed email leaks and marketing drafts started surfacing online. Now here's where things get absolutely wild. Nike executives were suddenly holding emergency late-night meetings, desperately trying to get ahead of the rumors before they spiraled completely out of control. If this deal existed, it would mark a historic shift in how women's basketball gets marketed and valued. Clark wouldn't just be another athlete under Nike's massive umbrella anymore. She would be entering the elite circle of athletes personally endorsed by Michael Jordan himself. That's a title shared by only a select few global icons, and the financial implications were staggering for everyone involved. Sports marketing analysts broke down what this could mean. Clark's rookie year jersey sales had already shattered records. Her viewership numbers carried the entire WNBA season. She made the Indiana Fever one of the most talked about franchises in sports practically overnight. A Jordan partnership would merge two of basketball's most influential names from different eras. Then came the moment that changed everything. A single Instagram story appeared showing Clark lacing up prototype shoes with a glowing Jumpman logo. The caption read simply, "Work in silence." That's when the sports world completely lost its collective mind. Within minutes, Caitlyn x Jordan was trending worldwide. Fans flooded social media with theories about signature shoe lines and exclusive endorsement deals. Some claimed she had just become the first woman to get a personal Jordan partnership. Others insisted this was a power move designed to challenge WNBA leadership directly. Every major sports outlet from ESPN to Bleacher Report ran with the story. Even NBA stars started weighing in, calling the moment historic for women's basketball. The exposure was unlike anything the WNBA had ever seen, but not everyone was celebrating behind the scenes. But the real controversy started when veteran WNBA players began expressing frustration privately. Some felt disrespected that Clark was getting opportunities others had never been offered despite years of fighting for recognition. There were whispers that she was making moves outside proper league channels. One anonymous player reportedly said it wasn't the Caitlyn Clark League, suggesting tension was building among teammates and competitors. The comments sparked debates about whether Clark was breaking barriers or breaking the system that had built women's basketball in the first place. What made this even more explosive was how Fever fans responded to the criticism. They saw the Jordan connection as validation for everything Clark had endured. The constant fouls, the media hate, and the pressure to prove herself every single game. To them, this wasn't rebellion against the league. This was elevation to where she belonged. The Instagram post generated millions of views and thousands of reposts within hours, proving Clark's cultural influence extended far beyond basketball courts. Michael Jordan finally made his move with zero warning and maximum impact. The official Jordan Brand account quietly posted a black and white photo of Clark holding a basketball with the caption, "Legacy recognizes legacy, no press release, no official statement," just 5 words that shattered the internet completely. The response was absolutely insane. Millions of views flooded in within minutes. Thousands of reposts exploded across platforms, and reactions poured in from fans, players, and analysts worldwide. Everyone understood exactly what it meant. This was Jordan's silent stamp of approval that carried more weight than any formal announcement ever could behind the scenes. Multiple reports confirmed Jordan had personally contacted Nike's executive board with a simple message: "She's the future." It wasn't just an endorsement anymore. This was mentorship turning into a full-blown movement that could reshape the entire basketball industry. Sources close to potential deals revealed Jordan plans to create a women's line inspired by Clark's playing style. The concept would combine grace, grit, and competitive fire into products designed specifically for female athletes. If true, this could completely transform how basketball apparel gets marketed to women. Meanwhile, the WNBA's internal tension reached a breaking point. Some league officials privately admitted Jordan's influence could actually lift women's basketball to unprecedented heights. Others feared losing control over their own narrative and having their biggest star operate independently of league authority. Suddenly, Clark wasn't just their rookie sensation anymore. She had become the face of a new era that didn't need WNBA permission to succeed. Fans started calling her Air Clark, and memes flooded social media showing her dunking beside Jordan's iconic silhouette. What happened next was even more shocking. Leaked documents suggested Jordan and Clark's collaboration might extend beyond just branding deals. Rumors swirled about potential training camps or academies for young female athletes. If true, this partnership wouldn't just be rewriting basketball history, it would be rewriting who gets to control the future of women's sports. The Clark effect became undeniable. Ticket prices for Indiana Fever games doubled overnight. Jordan Brand merchandise featuring her silhouette sold out within hours. Sports economists predicted the partnership could inject millions into women's basketball without a single dollar coming from WNBA central offices. But not everyone was celebrating these developments. Inside locker rooms across the league, players remained divided. Some saw it as a once-in-a-lifetime win for female athletes finally getting valued at NBA star levels. Others worried it would create dangerous superstar hierarchies that could divide teams and alienate veterans. For her part, Clark stayed completely silent through all the chaos. No interviews, no public comments, just training. Her Instagram bio quietly updated to include one new line: "Built, not bought." Players interpreted this as a message that she wasn't chasing fame but building something lasting. The final twist came when rumors surfaced about documentary crews secretly filming their entire journey from draft day to this moment. If that footage ever gets released, it could reveal what really happened at Grove 23 and what Jordan told her that changed everything. One thing became crystal clear though: the WNBA will never be the same again. If you're enjoying this content and want to see more breakdowns of the biggest controversies in sports, smash that subscribe button and let me know what drama you want covered next.